Hi everyone, today we've got an interesting game for you here. It's Manectric Kyurem, the deck I'm considering for Worlds, with its Mega Manectrics. You power up other Mega Manectrics and Kyurem, versus Rayquaza. And now you think Mega Manectric does 110 damage, Rayquaza is weak to lightning. This should be in Mega Manectric's favour, right? No, because Rayquaza runs Altaria, which takes away all weakness from colourless Pokemon. And what that does is means Mega Manectric's attack only does 110, while Rayquaza can be one-shotting Mega Manectric with 7 bench Pokemon. So it's an interesting game to see, and it shows you that weakness isn't actually as important all the time. Now here, Jake is mulliganing, that's me again, twice. And yeah, so Adam puts the 2 on top of his deck. Adam on the right playing Rayquaza, I'm playing Manectric Kyurem. Made a few changes since been considering Garbodor. Garbodor, of course, shots off the Altaria, which is it's pretty useful. It's not only for Altaria, it can shut off other things such as Kling Klang and just general usage. So Adam actually starts with Bunnelby. Now, I've recorded another one, but not like properly recorded commentary yet. And I discussed how Bunnelby is was put in before US Nationals, but I think it's worth mentioning again. And okay, so he gets the 1 Battle Compressor. We run Battle Compressor because it's good to get NG in for Mega Turbo. It's good to just get some, throwaway cards out. We had Revive for a while, which Battle Compressor Revive is kind of like an Ultra Ball. So he gets rid of 1 Grass Energy. And anything he doesn't really need for the matchup, say if he's not against lightning stuff, he can get rid of the Swablu Altaria. He can also put a supporter in there to Compressor if his hand's a bit weak. It's just a good all-round utility card. So I think he's only putting in those 2. We'll have to wait and see. This is sped up, but even then it's still kind of slow. Okay, so he's putting in a Juniper as well. That's probably just because he has Compressor. Maybe he has Versus Seeker. He probably has things to do as well. Like he can probably Shaman and then decide between N and Juniper. But well, he's not doing anything yet. Yeah, he's Well, he's playing Shaman for 0 and putting on a Spirit Link. So and he's playing a Silent Lab, so I can't use my own. And then he goes Versus Seeker for Juniper. I'm not sure about the order there. I'm pretty sure he could have got a card from the Shaman had he done that right, but it's not too big a deal. He attached the NG already rather than just Junipering it. He's not attacking this turn, so he can't use Rototiller, the Bunnelby attack, to put it back in. So he may as well put it on the Shaman so that he can attack with it at some point, if he needs to. It's only going to do 30 damage, but the 30 damage could actually be important. If, say, I keep replacing his Skyfield Stadiums, and he only hits a Manectric for 150, he can finish it off with 30. Though that's not true. If I keep replacing his stadiums, it's because I'm replacing it with Rough Seas, so I can heal the Manectric. So I think he just did it there so he can possibly retain the energy at a later date. There, I Trainer's Mail. Not sure what I'm after because this is just the first turn, but I think a Float on the Shaman. Yeah, Float is probably fine, or a Float on a Keldeo if I Ultra Ball for it. So just a bit of shuffling there. Yeah, so I just put the Float on the Shaman. Jake just puts the Float on the Shaman. Then I Computer Search, discard. That looks like a Mega Manectric and a VS Seeker. It's unfortunate sometimes to discard the Mega Manectrics in this deck, but I think if you don't have anything, you just need a supporter. That's what you have to do. It looks like I'm going for N because I put that to the front of my deck. I'm just checking what's prized. I mean, I don't think I'm checking what's prized because I don't do that really in testing games. But yes, so take the N. We'll see what happens. Cuts. Okay, so I took the Float even though I had one in hand. I guess it doesn't make too much of a difference. And then I just play the N. It's not too great. One thing I've noticed I do is not shuffle very well. That Kyurem was at the bottom of the deck for most of those shuffles. So honestly, that's probably half the problem I'm having here. Now I draw a Kyurem and a Keldeo. Maybe I shouldn't have put the float on Shaman. I think that was a bit preemptive. Well, I've got another float to put on the Keldeo, and I guess that's fine. I think the Rayquaza does run one Megaphone, but if they play it, then and if I manage to kill Bunnelby, it's the only way they can get it back. But it looks like I'm probably not going to play it down here. Yeah, maybe I'll make him waste the Megaphone. I've left the Shaman active because it's actually the least useful out of all of those. Even though it's the easiest to kill with Mega Rayquaza. Oh, well, he's had to attach to Bunnelby, and he's borrowing. So he discards a Lightning and, oh, the other Keldeo. So this is not looking too good for the Rayquaza, but then it's not looking too much better for the Manectric because I haven't managed to draw any Manectrics or put any energy down. But Adam's hand is probably worse. So Ultra Ball, discard. I believe that's a float and a muscle band, so that's not too great. Don't want to be discarding stuff like that. I think, yeah, at this point, I just take the Manectric to make sure I have it. I don't think there was another draw Pokemon in the deck I could have gone for, but even if I could, there is a Silent Lab. Oh, I have a VS Seeker anyway, that's fine. I think N is the only supporter in my discard, unfortunately, so I have to play it here just to get anything going in this game. Of course, that ends Adam out of trouble as well. The reason I have to end there is because I have nothing, and he can keep rototillering or borrowing, putting, say, a Juniper back in, or discarding down my deck if I don't manage to draw anything. And all I really need this turn is an energy, and that's what I get. So I put down another Manectric as well. I don't need to replace the Stadium at this point because I've got no damage to heal, and I want to wait till he has to use Skyfield. Or I want to wait till I end him and put the Rough Seas down. Maybe that will reduce his damage output enough so that I can heal something off. So just waiting here. I think I pass because attacking and doing 20 to the Bunnelby is kind of pointless. And it puts the Manectric in harm's way. So yeah, slow setup from both sides here. Adam's had to attach 3 energy to non-Rayquaza things. But now he gets down a baby Rayquaza. Looks like he has energy in hand. He's deciding what to attach because he has both double colours and grass energy. I assume he'd attach the double colours here. I mean, knowing I don't play Enhanced Hammer. There we're just discussing how the bench should go. Just because with Skyfield, you can have a bench of 8, and if you're recording videos, that's quite hard to do. Okay, so he attaches another energy to Bunnelby to retreat to attack with the Shaman. It's kind of curious. I'm not really sure why. I think he might just go into the Mr. Mime. But he's discarded 2 grass, so maybe that gives him a chance to Mega Turbo. Oh, he just puts the Rayquaza active. Well, if he's not careful, I can just 2-hit that. And he hasn't got Altaria out, but he does only have the Dragon Rays down. Now, if you look at my hand, it's just 2 Mega Manectrics and Juniper. So I have to just manually evolve. So yeah, it doesn't look like it's going well from either side. And Adam can actually be the one to get the first KO here. Doing the 30 damage seems fine, because it means he doesn't have to put anything else down on the bench to get a KO on the Shaman. But overall, I mean, you'll be putting many more Pokemon down. Oh wow, he's had to discard 2 Shaman, use Silent Lab. There is also 1 Sacred Ash in the Rayquaza deck, so it allows you to put back... Oh, okay, so he just draws the Swablu and the Altaria, so that's fine. Not much could be done about that, but he doesn't have Mega Turbo by the looks of it. Though he is Ultra Balling. I think he's checking how many Shamans are prized or in his discard pile. So I think he'll have 1 left in the deck. Yep, he's getting the Shaman. Now he's replaced the Silent Lab with Skyfield. He can use Propagation. Yeah, and he just evolves the other Rayquaza as well. Wow. So Shaman's for sets up for 6. That is a Mega Turbo, so he finally gets the first attack going. But he also has Altaria, so I'm in no shape to really come back. He has another Rayquaza and a Spirit Link, and he's really spreading his bench out weirdly. I think he just puts them down. There's no real harm to that, because Altaria can't really do... Mega Manectric can't even kill that Rayquaza because of the damage. So I replaced it with Rough Seas. Fortunately, that looks like a Juniper. It's a painful one, because that's my second Mega Manectric, and I can't remember if this is the time when I'm running 3 or 4, but it's not putting me in a great situation. So I have to discard the Rough Seas with Acrobike there. Attach a Water. I think I'm going to be Ultra Balling here. A Muscle Band. At this point I also played 2 Muscle Band. Yep, I think that's another Mega. Okay, so I have 2 Megas still in deck, and I have to go between them. But it looks quite plausible if he just gets a Skyfield and attaches 2 energy. That might... not attaches to energy, puts 2 Pokemon down. My Mega Manectric just dies, and I fall way behind. Okay, so I moved to that Manectric, as I think I'd only played that one down this turn. It's not too relevant, really, because it's the same exact thing, but may as well get it correct. Attaches double colourless to Rayquaza. Megaphones, just to remove it out of his deck, I guess. I've also already discarded the Muscle Band, so I can't really use them. And the 130 damage from a Turbo Bolt is completely irrelevant in this matchup. I think almost completely irrelevant. Anyway, it'd have to be a very specific scenario. For example, Muscle Band to do 130 with Turbo Bolt, and then Muscle Band to do 50 with Frost Spear. But of course I can't do either of those, because I've discarded all the Muscle Bands. He replaces the Stadium Skyfield. He has an Execute in his discard pile. Switches to the non-damaged Ray, making my life even harder. All he has to do is get 1 more Pokemon, as well as the Execute. So he has Ultra Ball in hand. He has a Shaman in his hand as well, actually. I think he can just play that down. Plays it down, gets set up for 1. And I think now he benches the... he propagations, benches the Execute, and that's 210 damage. So you can see how quickly, despite not even drawing that well, Rayquaza just, can output so much damage so quickly. I get the Floatstone on Keldeo, but I don't think it's too relevant here. And play N. Now, the problem with playing N is that unless I hit Rough Seas, he will have game, next turn straight away. So I have to hit Rough Seas here, and then he has to miss Skyfield and 2 Pokemon. But even if he doesn't, he can just attack for 150. I then heal back to having taken only 120 damage, and then a Lysander will just kill me if I retreat the Manectric. I do get Rough Seas here, and looks like I'm Turbo Bolting. Most likely it seems going to go to the Kyurem, because I don't have any more Megas left. So I can't Mega the Baby Manectric on the field, and it's not really going to help much. So I think if I put the NG on the Kyurem, that's my best shot at staying in this game, and meaning he only takes 1 prize off it. And yeah, that's what I do here. And of course, he gets Juniper off and Enter 2, and looks like a Skyfield in his hand. And Ultra Ball. Scar's Ultra Ball and Ultra Ball. So, yeah, there are all his Ultra Balls. He gets Jirachi, just plays it down. Doesn't really need the effect, because he just propagations the Execute. And then, that's game over. So, quite interesting game there. A lot of, nothing really back and forward, but a lot of Emerald breaks. It shows you really the power of Rayquaza. So even though he didn't get that fast a setup, of course neither did I, but since he didn't, he just it looked like he was out of the game until, of course, he Emerald Break for 210, sorry, and just straight away killed my Mega Manectric. So, yeah, that can just happen in this game. And shows you Rayquaza is a real potential Worlds deck. It's going to be strong. It's probably going to be strong for a long time. It wasn't really as strong for our Nationals format as we had Toad Shaman with the Trump card, where Rayquaza just couldn't keep its energy on the field. It ran so few energy. But now Toad is a bit less fast, it's a bit less powerful. They can't reuse their hammers anywhere near as much. So Rayquaza can keep hold of its energy a lot better, and it can just Emerald Break repeatedly for heavy amounts of damage. Without Skyfield, you can do 150, and with Skyfield, that can go all the way up to 240. So I think it's a pretty strong deck. It's just very fast, very strong. Even bad starts you can draw out of. And yeah, this is a good demonstration of the deck. So I'll see you guys another time.